So it's June 15th, 14th, scratch that. Dear Diary. So I thought I would start by talking about my adoption because recently I've gotten a lot of comments lately about my adoption, and I feel like people don't really understand it. Even though I am graduating and I'm in grade 12 and I tell everyone I'm adopted, but people still don't know. And I always get weird reactions, so I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. So I think that I should start off with the first time I really figured out that people can sometimes be really negative or weird when it comes to adoption. So it was about in grade 6 or 5, grade 6 or 5 for me. And I remember it was gym class, and I stepped outside to get a drink of water, and these two girls who were twins, they came out. I bumped into them, and we just started talking, and I said to them, "Oh yeah, like my brother Theo, you know, he's got red hair and he's got lots of freckles, and he's in your class, I think." And they said, "Oh, well, how does that work?" And I said to them, "Oh, I'm adopted from China." And you know, most people would say, "Oh, wow, that's interesting," or "I've never met an adopted person before," or you know, "Wow, that's really interesting," or "That's really cool," or something. But one of the girls said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said to her, I said, "Why are you sorry? You don't need to be sorry for me. There's no need, right?" And now that I'm graduating soon, I've kind of, and you know, with meeting new people and telling them that I'm adopted, I've learned that, you know, a lot of people, especially at that age, like when they're really young, they don't understand that, you know, what they say can impact a person. And so when the girl said, like, "I'm sorry for that," I felt confused because I was saying, "Why are you sorry? Like, I'm the lucky one. You know, there are millions of girls who are abandoned and who aren't adopted, let alone find homes in Canada." And I was just really confused and it was kind of off-putting, the experience, because I never really had that negative of a reaction before, and so that kind of threw me off a bit. And then later on in grade 8, I was told by my really good friend, she mentioned that people at my school in elementary school, they used to talk about me behind my back and how I looked different than my family and how I was adopted, and my family was white and I was Chinese, and apparently they used to make fun of me behind my back, and so I didn't know until grade 8. But when I first heard that, I didn't really know how to react. I was more or less, well, because of I couldn't go back in that time, right? That was like 2 years later, so the only thing I could really do was kind of scoff, really. Because you know, what makes kids, especially that age, what makes them think it's okay to like bully someone for them looking different than their family? Like, I just thought that was really dumb. That's such a small thing, and it's just so it just didn't make any sense. So I wasn't really affected by that. I was just really surprised that people made fun of me behind my back because I look different. I just thought that, adoption isn't that big of a deal, and that for someone to feel like, to belittle me by making fun of me in that way, I just thought that just showed how much they were of a character. So I didn't really let that affect me. But one thing that I found that was very interesting, like this year and in high school, some of my friends and I would be talking, and some adults and stuff like that, and we would be talking about like adoption and like fostering kids, or like having your own kids, like what would your preference be, that sort of thing. And quite a few of my friends, they said, oh, if I would like to adopt, because of course, me being an adoptee, I like to advertise, choosing adoption, because I feel like, and this is just my own personal preference, but I feel like, why have your own kids when the world is already overpopulated and there are millions of kids who need love and attention? Like why would you want to create more kids who need love and attention and neglect other kids who are just on the streets? Like, I just don't understand that. And so their reasoning, I explained that to them, and they said, well, I would like to have my own kid because I'd feel like it was mine, if we had the same blood, and if we looked alike, and they had the same nose as me, and they had the same mouth as my spouse and stuff like that, like I would feel like that kid is mine, or like a little me. And I remember like looking at them, and I like, I don't look like that. I don't look like my family. So are you saying that I'm less of a daughter to my family because I don't look like them? Like, I know, especially with adoption, like, people don't know how to react, and they say really dumb things. Trust me, I've gotten a lot of dumb comments, lots of them, and I really just have to laugh about it, because that's all you can do. People are just, they don't understand, and with their own stupidity, they just, I really have to brush it off. It's one of those things. But I was kind of shocked when they said that, because I don't believe that just because someone doesn't look like you in any way, like, that you would love them less because of that. Like, if you look at my family, my parents love all of my siblings in the same way, even though I look completely different than my brothers. And they still love me just the same, and they love my birth family as well, even though I'll never know them. We'll see. That's another thing. But, if you had to choose between blood and love, you would choose love, because love is like the ultimate thing in parenting. And I don't think that anyone would really, if they chose adoption, I don't think that anyone would, love their kid less because they didn't look like them. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't understand. Not just students at school, but adults too. They don't understand that that you'll love someone because you love them, and not because they look like you or have the same blood. And I guess adoption is kind of a sad thing, especially Chinese adoption, because it's so closed and there's no information about your background. Because when I was found on the street near the hospital, that's where someone found me. I didn't have any information on me, and so the possibility of me finding my birth parents and figuring out if I have any siblings or where I could have lived or what my life would have been like if I lived in China, it's really small, really, really small. So I guess in that way, adoption is kind of sad, but in the other way, I actually, I've gotten this question quite a bit, and if the question is, if you had the choice of choosing to be adopted or not right now, and if I still lived in China, what would you choose? And I say, I choose to be adopted because I like being adopted. And I know that sounds really weird because it's like, well, wouldn't you want to meet your birth family? And, but then at the same time, all the things that have happened to me and who I am now, I wouldn't have experienced that, and I would not be the same person. And as well, adoption makes me unique, and it makes me me, and I really like that. I like that I'm different than anyone else, than everyone, and that no one can really take that away from me. So, despite everything that, all the dumb stuff that people say, I would choose to be adopted because I like being different, and I like kind of standing out. So yeah. So that is the end of a journal entry. Yeah. Until next time, diary. Bye.